actually been pretty good early, but the sky looks awful. All week long, all week, the forecast was wonderful. Check it today and they're calling for rain, and the sky is looking pretty wicked. Hopefully it just keeps on moving. It does look like it's moving, but it needs to keep moving. So what's one really cool thing that happened tonight is a subscriber, Randy, drove all the way down from the Villages, which is south, and I'm an hour south of home, just to come and say hello. He made me a little keychain plush. I'll have to show you in the other part of the video. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Had a nice conversation with them, hung out for a little bit. Then we got a little busy and they went about their thing. But Randy, if you're watching, thank you very much for stopping in. And I love my little bird. Hello everyone. It is Saturday night, the day after market. What an interesting market that was. The sky with all the clouds looked like it was going to just open up any minute and downpour. Fortunately, we did not get any rain. And this market was very different from previous nights that we've been there. Normally, the last 2 hours are like the best hours. It didn't happen. It was very strange. But on a fun note, and I know I already mentioned this in one of the clips, but a subscriber showed up to visit me, and that was really fun. We sat there and chatted maybe a good 15 minutes or so, and then we started getting busy. But he brought me a little present. He made a little Angry Bird. That is so cool. Thank you so much, Randy. And it was very nice meeting you and getting to chat with you. He drove a long way to get there. Like, that market is about an hour south of me, and he's probably half hour, 45 minutes north of me. So he drove a long way to come out there and say hello. That was really cool. That was a nice surprise. And he is here on YouTube, Crochet Punk. So that was pretty cool. Crochet Punk Rebellious Crafting. Very cool. So we get there, and of course, you know, all week long the forecast was like the weather's going to be perfect. And when I checked Friday morning, the forecast had changed, and you know, the sky looked pretty rough. But some of the businesses there have closed. There was a brewery, it has closed. There was a liquor store, it closed. Whatever was in behind where my booth was, it's like completely empty, and they left the light on so you could see like inside. So it was kind of distracting for the booth. But I don't know. I hope that's not a sign of things to come for that market, because it can be a really good market. So I got to place a yarn order. I know, I got a lot back there, but there's certain colors that I need to have. So, and this always happens. It always happens. So let's, my hands are a little sore. Let's go over what we sold. So the market, it goes from 5 to 9. And at $4.59, we had our first sale. And that was the yellow Della the Duck Lovey that I did. And I know a couple of people said, oh, it needs its headband. And I felt that with it being that pale yellow with the orange, that it did not need a headband, and it didn't. It sold. But that's one of the colors that I need, is the banana yellow for that, to be able to make another one like that. So we sold that at $4.59. Then we waited the longest time. Felt like forever for the next sale. And this was about the time frame when Randy stopped in and we did a visit. I mean, and which was kind of good because it was slow, and then it started to get busy after that. But the next sale was a dashboard duck, and it was the couple coming back to get the one that they requested with the embroidered eyes. So one dashboard duck. And then the next sale is Randy's, and he got an Oogie keychain, a caterpillar, which is all from Jade's pattern, and the gargoyle. So the third sale of the night, and that was at 6:06 p.m., was the gargoyle is gone. So I'm going to make another one, but I have to get some yarn because I don't believe I have the right color for it. I don't think I have enough mystical, and I know I don't have enough of the Bernat dappled, you know, the color that I used on the last one. But that one, that was like, he spotted that and he's like, ooh, look at that. So that's gone. Then at 6:08, we sold 4 items. The small bluey, Luminell, I think, is the pattern designer. A mini bird keychain, a Ninja Turtle, and that's the new batch of Ninja Turtles that I just did, and it was the one with the orange eye mask, and one itty bitty snake, which is Saucy Puffin Crafts pattern. So that was at $6.08. That was a nice sale. Then at $6.33 was the next sale. And that was a mini Night Fury. It was one I made, and I sat it aside because I was like, wow, this really came out small. And then I just decided, you know what the heck, I'm going to take it. Somebody will either like it or not, right? And so that sold. Then, now if you noticed in the video, I finally took Mathilda the turtle to market. And it got a lot of compliments, a lot of looks. But after my one casualty for the night, this little boy got in behind the wood shelves that I have double stacked at the front of the booth, and he was pushing the plushies off. The splooting dinosaur went crashing to the ground and hit eyeball first on the concrete, put a big chip in the eye. Of course, the child was unattended. Who knows if he was with mom, dad, grandma, aunt, uncle, whatever, but he was unattended. After that, Matilda got put away. I wasn't taking any chances. That one was too hard to do, so it got put away. Not gonna deal with it. No way. So at $6.37, sold a whale shark. Then at $6.38, we sold a hanging plant car swing, and it was it was the spider plant that I did out of the artichoke green. I'm telling you, that color is like perfect for that plant. Perfect for it. Then at $6.46, we sold Nibbles the Cookie Mouse. Yay for Nibbles. At $6.51, we sold a chicken and egg. I think it was just a yellow one. I don't remember if it was any special color or not. At $7.01, we sold Myrtle the turtle. And that was interesting because I had enough time on Thursday. I made a couple of bees, and I was able to get 2 myrtles done. I was going to do 3, but I was just like, okay, I'm tired. I want to go to bed. So I did 2 myrtles, and that was one of the myrtles that sold. At $7.03, the woodland fox from Oak and Marlow. I took the fox, the deer, and the bunny because they all had embroidered eyes instead of safety eyes, and put them over in the same section as all the other things that I took that had embroidered eyes. So the fox sold. Oh, and another thing that I wanted to mention is I did not put, mainly because of the way the sky looked, but I did not put all my stuff out that I took with me. I kind of left it looking a little thin. That way it was less to try and protect but if the sky opened up. But I had a whole other full tote bag that I could have, but I didn't. I could have been restocking as things sold. I mean, I didn't get any big gaping holes or anything, so I wasn't like overly concerned about, putting more stuff out there. So we sold the fox, and Chompers, the gator, that sold at 7:04 p.m. Then at 7:07 and 7:07, keychain ice cream cone. and then a keychain ice cream cone. It was 2 little girls, but they wanted to pay separate, so I had to ring them up separate. So keychain ice cream cones. And then the second Myrtle the Turtle that I made on Thursday night sold at 7:15 p.m. So I still have the same ones keep getting left behind, and they're the solid color ones. So yeah, today I've been working on Myrtle the Turtle. At 7:29 p.m. we sold a Labubu and a mini jellyfish, and I believe it was the rust-colored Labubu that sold. And the mini jellyfish is all from Jade's free jellyfish pattern. Then at 7:49, 20 minutes later, we sold a shark, just a regular looking shark. I think I'm down to just 2 whale sharks now. And it was a light blue one. Then at 7:50, we sold the bunny, the Oak and Marlow bunny. It's interesting because I've had that bunny on display, set up differently away on the wooden racks, and I would put it with like the mice that were that style, the cookie mice, kind of like in that country-ish, rustic-ish little section. But I put it over with the embroidered eye stuff, and it sold. Then our first car swing of the night at 7:54, well, second because we sold the plant, a yellow chick on a swing. I'm so low on car swings. I have to make some of those. And then at 8:02, we sold the other Labubu, the pink one. And normally 8 o'clock is my busiest hour, but last night 7 o'clock was my busiest hour. At 8:12, we sold one Pokemon from Beckmade Studio, and it was an Eevee Pokemon. And then at 8:17, we sold, I had a while back made this little teeny tiny out of acrylic yarn, Myrtle the Turtle. I mean, real tiny, just because I wanted to see what size it came out to in acrylic. And it just kind of got tossed in the bin. Well, last week when I was looking through the bins and all that, I found a bunch of small items. Well, that was one of the items I found, and I just put it on a keychain and put it in the bucket. So that sold. Another ice cream cone keychain and the bigger Bluey. So Bluey's gone. I'm out again. Then my very last sale of the night, which kind of made my night. It was a good ending for the night. It was 2 of the pug puppies. And I was like, I told the little girl, I'm like, I'm so happy you're getting those. That means I get to make more because I liked making those. So in that same transaction went the Splooting Deer by Snugglebeans Crochet. That I've made 3 of those, and now I have sold all 3 of those. Those are a good seller. Now I am very bummed that I had another casualty. I can't fix the eye. I was so mad. That's why Mathilda got put away. No way was I going to leave that turtle out there for a little kid to knock it on the floor, and then I'm out. And that one took a long time. So it was put away. Gone. All right, so we did we sold a total of 34 items, which is less than what we normally do on average. But because they were not only buying small items, low-priced items, we made about the same that we usually do when we sell 40 to 45 items. So my total sales were $546. And of that, 514 was card and only 32 was cash. So again, my fees are up there. My card to cash ratio, like the card is super high compared to the cash. But my square fees were $16.35, and that left me with a total of $529.65. And then, of course, you have to take the setup fee out of that. So, did I have any best sellers? Well, for quantity-wise, the ice cream cone keychain was the best seller because I did sell 3. And then I had a couple of items that came in at 2s. So that was 2 pug puppies, 2 Myrtle the turtle, and 2 Labubu, I think. Yes, 2 Labubus. Everything else was a 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So it was an interesting night. It was very different than what it normally is. Only 1 chicken and egg this time. Only 2 swings. One was the plant and one was a critter. So, categories was 25 plushies, 6 keychains, 1 lovey, and 2 swings. And of course, the highest dollar category was plushies because that one sold the most. Anyways, I think that, I don't know why I have such a hard time with Square and my devices. I could not get the tap reader to connect to my iPad or my phone last night. It just couldn't find it, wouldn't recognize it. It kept searching for it. I had them right next to each other. The orange lights were flashing, but it just absolutely would not connect. I tried for over an hour. So I had to go old school and put the plug-in thing in my phone and do it from my phone. I'm going to see if they have a plug-in thing for the iPad because I can't. You can't see it. I can't see it. It's too small. And if you have fat fingers, then you hit the wrong buttons all the time. It really slows me down to have to use the phone versus the iPad. I'm spoiled. What can I say? The iPad spoiled me. So I got to figure out. I don't have a market this coming Friday, but I will the week after. And I got to figure out why it wouldn't connect. Those things aren't cheap. It was between the little reader and the little heavy case that holds it, it was $90. It's and I haven't even had it a year. So it's been used maybe a dozen times. I don't know. I just, for some reason, always seem to have problems with the devices. Why? Why me? You don't really have much else to say. That was the events. I mean, we got out of there about a half hour sooner than we normally do, which meant we got home about a half hour earlier than we normally do. And of course, I slept a lot today. I got up for a little while, then I laid back down, and then I got up and stayed up. And then I'm kind of tired, so I should be able to sleep okay tonight. But between in the last week, 2 Fridays, so in 7 days, 8-day time frame, we've sold 98 items, which is pretty good. And I obviously did not make 98 items in a week to replenish all of that. So my hope is, because I have so much, is that as we work through these markets, even though I'll still be making as we go, I mean, obviously I won't be able to make, replenish everything that I sold, but I do pretty decent at a weekly production. I'm hoping that I weed through most of it, so that I can go into the new year with like a mostly fresh inventory. I mean, I don't think I'll sell every single item, but to go into it with mostly fresh inventory is definitely my goal. So I got to go place that yarn order and make a whole bunch of myrtles this week. Well, I have 2 weeks to do it, but I made 3 today, and figure out what yarn I want to use for another gargoyle. And the second time around, it'll be so much easier than the first time, especially now that I know what to expect and I have figured out how to do the little claws on it. But that thing was really cool. Very cool. So I definitely want to make another one. And on that note, I'm going to say, see you later. See you in the next video.